Hello, my loves, and welcome to another episode of the Soul Extract. And I'm so happy to have you guys here. Thank you so much for joining me, and for listening in every week for those that do. And thank you so much for the new people that will join and see what I've been talking about. You can check out all my other episodes in the previous weeks. And you can even check out my Ndalo by Ndalo series that I started last year. So yeah, I've just got a whole lot of things that you can check out and see all about me and what I'm about. But yeah, this is basically a podcast that's all about holistic wellness. It's talking about mental, physical, emotional, psychological, financial, every kind of wellness that you can think of. And it's basically about tapping into your infinite power, the power that you were born with, the power that God has bestowed upon you. Tapping into that power to be the best version of yourself, to be the most favorite version of yourself. So yeah, this week, guys, I wanted to talk about mastering self-acceptance, or basically how to tune into accepting yourself fully, to be radical about your self-acceptance. And yeah, just to start us off, I just wanted to be vulnerable with you guys and share with you. So this is a picture. This is a picture of me in high school. And basically, I really avoided smiling in pictures in high school. I always used to keep my mouth closed. I never used to love smiling in pictures, even though I used to love smiling in real life. And I mean, I still very much love, I mean, I'm sure you can see, I love smiling. I feel like it's one of my beautiful traits about me. I love smiling even in real life. And so even though I loved smiling in real life, I would recognize that when someone would give me a stank look or stank eye, or someone would just look at me funny, I would realize or remember that, oh my gosh, I forgot that I have this problem, or I'm not enough, or I'm not attractive enough, or I'm not perfect. And it's something something has clicked in me in these past few months. I think maybe November, December, January, around those times, something really clicked in me. And even though I had my teeth fixed, with obviously with braces. Thank you, mom and dad. Thank you for that gift to me of giving me straighter teeth. And even though after that, because I got my braces at 21. So after having that kind of thing, where I've now changed my exterior, where I'm now confident in myself, where I'm now showing up differently in the world, where I'm now interacting with more confidence, with more just aliveness as I interacted with the world, I realized that even though my outside was looking different, my outside was looking better, I had straighter teeth throughout my life, up until clearly November, December, January this year, last year. I realized that I was still carrying that residue. I was still carrying the residue of pain, of hurt, of rejection, of insecurity. I was still carrying that around with me. And those things, I made it mean something about me. So the fact that now my teeth were straight, I still carried those things of feeling insecure, feeling not good enough, feeling like, something was missing from me. And what I made it mean about me is that I'm undesirable, I'm not attractive enough, I'm not perfect, and basically that the fact that I was not good enough, that I had to hide, that I needed to hide who I am, that I didn't deserve to be seen, I didn't deserve to shine. And because of all of this, I realized that I was constantly and subconsciously always rejecting myself. So whenever opportunities came, or whenever a guy came that I had a crush on, or that I liked, or whatever that would happen in my life, I would reject myself, because then I would be like, well, I'm not good enough for that, or I'm not good enough for that person, or I'm not good enough for that group of people, because I carried that not enoughness in me because of the thing that I have with my teeth. And basically because of this, I moved around the world repeating the story as a loop in my head. I keep repeating the story of not being good enough, not being deserving enough of the good things that I feel that were for me. And so the story just kept running around like a broken record in my mind. And I feel like for the most part, a lot of us really struggle with this. So it might not be for what you look like. It could be for what you do, maybe even for what you don't do. Like you're scared to show the real you, because you're scared of being rejected, you're scared of being, or you come across as being insecure, or whatever the things that you carry with you. And the things that you carry with you is because, or it's almost like you want to present as the perfect person. You want to show up as someone that's got their shit together. You want to be the person that doesn't want to seem as weak. You don't want to seem less than. And it's hard to look at ourselves as human, as flawed. We are that we make mistakes, and that we still make these mistakes. And we are always judging, and we're always criticizing ourselves really, really harshly. And we get caught up. We get caught up in thinking where we should be. We get caught up in where we should be. We get caught up in the things that we should have accomplished, the things that we should have achieved by now, or what we should have. And we also looking at ourselves like, or get caught up in what we should be doing. And we also compare ourselves to people around, seeing what they're doing and trying to see that, do we match up to that version of what society has painted. And the problem with that, is that you look at this perfect version of what society has painted, of what this perfect person should be, and you try to fit yourself in that mold. And because and when you don't fit into that mold, then you see yourself as being a defect, you see yourself as not being good enough, and you stay beating yourself up, you stay berating yourself, you stay in the self-depreciation of yourself, because you don't see like who you are, or you see the flaws and you see the mistakes of what you've done, or the failures or the disappointments or the delays in your life, and you identify with it. You end up making that your identity, where you see yourself as the failure. So I am the failure, I am the mess, I am the fraud, I am the insecure one, I am the one that doesn't have, they things together. And when we do that, we actually spiral. We spiral into a place where we get stuck in these version of ourselves that we used to be, or and whatever mistakes that we make, or whatever failures that we have made in the past, they kind of accumulate and they make our character. So now they make us who we are, and we stay in that negative energy of feeling like we're not good enough, that we can't achieve things, or that there's certain things that we can't get or can't do because of this defect, that we have within us. And this is where self-acceptance comes in. Self-acceptance comes in when you are grounded in the present moment. And self-acceptance comes in when you accept and you embrace yourself as yourself, exactly the way you are in this very moment. It's about finding the joys, and it's about finding the peace in all circumstances of your life, in all the chapters, all the seasons of your life, especially in the times when you feel like you haven't quite figured it out. And it's about reframing. It's about reframing your perspective on things. So the things that have caused you a bit of upset in your life. So the things that you feel like you've messed up on, the failures that you've done, the things that have brought you to where you are now. It's about reframing those and seeing the silver lining in those things. I mean, if you had to look at your life, over the past year, I mean, even the past 6 months, the past 3 months, you can find things that are different about you from where you were to where you are now. It could be that maybe you've learned a new skill, or maybe a certain a certain concept you understand in a better way. It could be maybe that you don't now accept treatment or some kind of treatment or negative treatment from others around you. Now you've learned to put your foot down. You've learned to stand up for yourself. You learn to speak up for yourself. It could be that you are now able to pay attention to your health. So now you're eating healthy, or now you're exercising more. There's so many things that you could do, that you could have done in these past 3 months, past 6 months, past year, that has moved you from where you are, or from where you were to where you are right now. And the bottom line is that us as humans, we are always changing, we are always growing, we are always evolving. Self-acceptance is about learning to be on the journey of where you want to go. It's embracing the fact that you are the process, that your evolution as a human being, that you changing, you growing, you transforming, that is part of the process. And we know that this journey can be slow, it can be scary, it can be uncomfortable, and it can feel like it's just dragging on and on and on, and it's got its up and downs. It's just always moving and always changing in ways maybe that we don't even expect. But that's where the real magic happens. It's in those moments where we realize that all these flaws, all these mistakes, all these detours, all these delays, all these disappointments have actually brought you to where you are right now. And it's about loving yourself. It's about loving yourself through the process. It's about loving yourself through these mistakes, through these delays, through these failures that you feel that you have made in your life. And it might not look like it. It might not even feel like it, but it's actually made you a better person. It's made you have a different perspective about yourself. It's made you even probably have a different perspective about your life and things that are happening around you. So self-acceptance is about taking the intentional and the conscious steps to reframe or rewire your brain, to remind yourself that you are whole, you are complete, and you are deserving of every single thing that you desire. That your life is perfectly fine the way it is. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It doesn't matter if it doesn't compare to others around you. How your life is perfectly fine the way it is. And it's also about rewiring your brain to remind yourself that no matter the circumstances, no matter the messes, no matter the flaws, no matter the circumstances that are unfavorable, anything, it's what makes you you. It doesn't matter how many mistakes you've made. It doesn't matter how many insecurities that you have. Because in spite of your insecurities, in spite of the things that you feel are completely wrong about you, it's what makes you you. So it's about embracing the fullness of you. It's about embracing and being proud of who you are, and being proud of all the things that make you you, that all these things actually make you unique. You yourself, those insecurities that you have, those flaws that you have, those quirks that you have, all those little different things that you have in your life make up you, make up the essence of you. And it's about embracing the wholeness and the fullness of you, and just reminding yourself that it doesn't matter what you've gone through. It doesn't matter what the things that have been thrown at you in your life. They all are part of your journey. They're all a part of the process. And it's about taking your power back. So what I mean by taking your power back, when you're operating yourself, and when you are doubting yourself, when you are looking at your mistake and you're looking at your failures and your mistakes and your messes, and you are identifying with them, you are giving your power away. But when you start to self-accept, when you start to accept yourself fully, wholly for who you are, is when you come to the present moment and you're like, okay, fine, I made that mistake. And you don't shame yourself, you don't judge yourself. It's about looking at your mistakes and looking at your messes, and you're like, you know what? It's fine. I made this mistake. I made these errors I made this error in judgment. I had these failures. There were all these disappointments. Things didn't go the way they did, but it's okay. I still love myself unconditionally. I still love myself through this. I forgive myself through all these things that have happened. And at the end of the day, they got me to where I am. I am where I am because of all these trials, because when you look back on your life and you look back at all these things that have happened, you realize that, oh my gosh, I wouldn't be where I am right now. You don't learn the lesson. You don't learn the lessons from the joys, from the love, from the peace. Yes, you get filled up by it, but the character that is grown, the depth of who you are is formed in the horrible things that happen, in the mistakes and the lessons and the disappointments and all these things that happen. So it's about taking your power back and owning who you are and say, okay, this is me, this is the wholeness of me. These things have happened and it is what it is. And then it's also about when you get to that point, then it's going to be a thing of now you're going to be inspired to take the action. You're going to be inspired to see things differently. You're going to be inspired to see things from a different perspective, where you're going to act differently or where you're going to show up differently. And yeah, guys, it's just about being present in the moment, not judging yourself, and just accepting the process, accepting the ups and downs, and taking it as it comes. That you know that once you have accepted and once you realize that, okay, this is where I've done, this is where I've gone wrong, or these are the mistakes I've done, and I will still continue to make mistakes. I will still continue to have unfavorable situations happening in my life. But it's about taking your power back and recognizing that, you know what, I've made these mistakes, it's fine. Where to from here? How can I move forward, and how can I be better and do better? And yeah, guys, I hope this has been really, really helpful, and that there's something that you found inspiring, or that you found useful or helpful on your journey as you heal and as you grow and as you evolve as a human. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next week. I love you so much. Bye.